Welcome to part 1 of PsycINFO and PsycARTICLES, what it is and how to use it. My name is Colleen and I work over at the BSU Library. In this video, we will review a quick overview of the two databases, the usefulness of PsycINFO, PsycARTICLES, and other databases and search engines, and the differences between PsycINFO and PsycARTICLES, and why you might want to use one over the other. In part 2, we will discuss how to use PsycINFO and PsycARTICLES. There's a near infinite amount of informational content in the world and just about as many ways for that content to be selected, categorized, and organized into a cohesive whole. The creators of library databases like PsycINFO and PsycARTICLES offer a solution to this glut of information by handpicking a smaller collection of appropriate materials, organizing them for their particular audience, and making them accessible to researchers and students in their own unique way. PsycINFO and PsycARTICLES are databases created and maintained by the American Psychological Association. They contain citations, abstracts, and in the case of PsycARTICLES, the full text of articles from scholarly journals in the areas of behavioral and social science research. PsycINFO is a bibliographic database containing abstract and index records of nearly 2,500 journals, many book chapters, and select dissertations relevant to psychology. PsycARTICLES provides access to articles from the 119 APA published and affiliated journals, totaling around 218,000 full-text peer-reviewed articles. Both databases are maintained and updated weekly. The database PsycINFO has its roots way before the internet when, nearly 100 years ago, in 1927, the American Psychological Association began publishing a monthly index called Psychological Abstracts, in which they included bibliographic and summary information for what they deemed were the most important journal articles, books, and book chapters being published in the field of psychology each month. The goal of this publication was to provide members of the APA a shortcut to the important information being published in the field. Even in the early years of psychological abstracts, the creators had to be selective of what citations they chose to include in their monthly abstracts, acting as an authority on what is and isn't appropriate for its pages. The print publication Psychological Abstracts was last published in 2006, with the online database PsycINFO taking its place entirely. The degree of authority original to Psychological Abstracts remains one of PsycINFO and PsycARTICLES' main selling points. In addition to its proven authority, there are two more aspects to these databases I want to highlight. First, their robust indexing. Although both databases include a keyword full-text search box that functions similarly to a Google search in which every single word of an article can be searched against search terms typed into the search bar, what sets these databases apart is the number of what are called access points available during the search process. Available access points function similarly to a keyword search, but instead of searching your search terms against every single word in an article or abstract, you can choose to narrow where your words are searched. For instance, you can choose to search for keywords that only appear in the title or in the abstract of an article. Narrowing down where you search creates a more tailored list of search results. Editors of the databases also add additional access points to each article they index to further define it. These come in the form of subject headings, which are added from a long list of available subjects maintained by the APA. Overall, these added access points allow for a much more in-depth and nuanced search. The second aspect I want to discuss is the way in which PsycINFO and PsycARTICLES are fully integrated with the rest of the library's resources. Let's break down what this means. As I mentioned before, PsycINFO is a database that only contains citations and abstracts. It provides very little in-database access to full articles, book chapters, or the like. Instead, its purpose is to provide a robust search function for an authoritatively created collection of the field's articles, book chapters, and dissertation citations. Since the database is integrated into the BSU Library's infrastructure, these citations are connected to a catalog of all library journal subscriptions. So if the library can provide access, you'll be able to get right to the full text within a few clicks. Even if there is no access for a particular citation, the system can pull the citation into an interlibrary loan form so that you can send any request to get what you need sent from another library. This integration helps with navigating the frankly complicated layers of information systems a little bit easier. Nearly everything available through PsycARTICLES is also indexed in PsycINFO. PsycINFO is a larger database of citations, so if you want to search just one large database, choose PsycINFO. Alternatively, every citation in PsycARTICLES includes full text, so if you are fine performing a less comprehensive search on your topic in favor of easy access to what you do retrieve, search PsycARTICLES. With all this said, this video is not meant to be a commercial for PsycINFO and PsycARTICLES. Now that you know how library databases like these are built, you can better understand how they're different from a commercial search engine like Google Scholar. For instance, Google Scholar only has a few extra access points available when you search. It also functions similarly to regular Google in that results are pulled through web crawlers with very little to no oversight. Basically, the results are less authoritative, multitudes larger, spanning all disciplines and fields. This sometimes makes it a big pain to sift through results to find the few articles that are actually useful to you. But its weaknesses are also its strengths. Primarily, Google Scholar is providing access to a fully separate collection of materials than your typical database. Obviously, there's overlap in citations, but the cool thing about Google Scholar is that it makes it a lot easier to get access to articles and book chapters that aren't available through the library. This is due to individual authors uploading their articles, book chapters, dissertations, and so on online, or through their own institution's databases or repositories. Without Google Scholar, you'd only be able to find these uploads by going to individual authors' websites or individual university online repositories and cross your fingers that you find what you're looking for. Google Scholar does a pretty good job aggregating these disparate online spaces into one search. In my opinion, it is a great accompaniment to library database searching, particularly when you're looking for a known title that is unavailable through the library's resources. I usually check Google Scholar before submitting an ILL request for my research needs, and about half the time I'm able to actually find the article I'm looking for without having to wait for an ILL request to be filled. You can see on the screen that when an article is available through Google Scholar, it will pop up on the right side of your search with the little term PDF next to a link, and that will take you directly to the PDF of the article in question. So that's the end of part 1. Please check out part 2 to learn how to search PsycINFO and PsycARTICLES.